Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. A bowl of Cheerios. First off, I bet you can't tell when I made this video. I was out here knocking around right after I made that cowbell video, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and make this video before I forget about it. I think it's such an important video, and I usually have a lot of ideas for videos, and most of them never get made, but I thought it was important to go ahead and make this one. I don't know when I'll put it out, but at least it's made, and it, it won't slip my mind and get pushed to the back. And I'm stealing this directly from Keith and Terri over to Retired and Loving It. There's a video they made a couple of years ago, and it made such an impression on me. I really never forgot it. I'll see if I can't sneak it in the corner somewhere, and I'll put it in the daggone link to it in the show notes if you're inclined to take a look at it. You know what? I forgot if I even said the video name title. I'm gonna do it again just in case. A bowl of Cheerios. Nothing but professionalism down here. But they made a video a couple of years ago. I think it's called Defining Your Legacy, I think is the name of it. I'm not real sure. But like I said, I'll put it up in the corner and link to it down in the notes. But she was telling Terri was talking about it. You know, I tell you what, man, it's a great thing being able to get some knowledge from professional retirees like they are. And I can't tell you how much they, watching some of their videos has really helped my retirement. You know, they do a thing every Sunday called Coffee Talk on Sundays, and it gives me a peek into the future of retirement and how I need to set myself up, and what to look forward to. It's just a high value in professional retirees like that. But Terri was telling a story about it was a little girl. I don't know how old she was. I don't remember. I don't know if Terri said, but she had grown up. Her mama died when she was little. She had I don't know, something was wrong with her. Had a health problem, and they was asking the girl later on when she become an adult, what was her favorite memory of being with her mama. And she said eating a bowl of Cheerios. Said that whatever was causing her mama's health problems, sometimes she'd wake up at night, she couldn't sleep, and she'd get up, and her daughter would wake up and go down to the kitchen with her, and mom would have a little bowl of Cheerios. And she said that was, her most enduring moment of her mama that she could remember. And on here I talk a lot about it's the simple things that matter, them little daily, everyday moments and interactions that really make life, worth living. Now, I'm not saying that, hey man, them big events ain't something to be done. I'm not saying those aren't great memories, and they shouldn't be done. Hey man, I enjoy it every time I step out of town or out of state. We just don't do it that often. But May was a rough month for us. We had I had 3 funerals in 2 weeks, in less than 2 weeks actually. One of them was my dad's baby brother. He was 78. He was the last one of them. There was 5 of them boys, and he was the last one. But he died on Mother's Day actually. But and then there was a buddy of mine. I don't know if you've seen that hat video, that Puerto Rican hat. He's the one that brought it to me. Because he was from Puerto Rico, and they'd go over there once every few years and visit his family still over there. He was him and his family, his 2 kids. I grew up with his 2 kids. They were a little bit older than me, a couple of years, but they were probably the oldest friends I had in the world. And I would go over to visit him from time to time, even after his wife had passed. She passed a few years ago. And you know, ever since, I mean, I've always stopped by to visit him. I've never not visited him, you know. But I mean, I didn't go on a regular basis. You know, whenever I was around or whatever. And another one was a friend of mine around the corner over yonder. He had passed, so it was a rough spell. But you know, it just proves that little video that Terri made and what I say about retirement. I see it proven over and over again. You know, sometimes at funerals, the preacher asks somebody stand up and, you know, give us a little story about him or her, whoever it is that passed on you. And every time, without fail, it's a simple story like that. You know, it's how well they made a batch of biscuits when they went over there to visit them on Sundays. It's like my mom's aunt down in Carolina. And cakes and biscuits, man, that woman, you couldn't leave that house without her making you a batch of biscuits. She wouldn't allow it. She was something. But it's always the same kind of story, you know. What's that story? Don't be that old saying, don't overlook the forest looking for the trees, or don't overlook the trees looking for the forest. However it goes. In retirement, that's the whole point of slowing down. You know, you're able to take in them little moments, them little daily happenings that, you know, just kind of fly by, that you don't realize how much of an enduring memory that puts on people. You know, and most of them don't cost a nickel. It's like me from mom and dad, you know. Hey man, I remember a lot of stuff about growing up, but, you know, interactions with them. Time used to go to the golf course with the old man and, you know, get down there amongst his friends, and, you know, it was great. But some of the most enduring moments happened later on in life, really. The ones that I remember and think so fond of. Just sitting out under the carport with Dad when I'd go over to visit. You know, sipping a glass of tea and just BSing, you know, talking about everything and nothing at the same time. It was them few minutes with him that, you know, stand out to me. And we didn't do a thing, it didn't cost a nickel. And the same for Mama. I say it all the time, man, it's the cowboy movies and either a fried egg or a fried bologna sandwich. You know, it didn't matter whether I'd watched that episode a dozen times, you know, of Gunsmoke, because she liked the Gunsmoke, you know. It's that same mundane thing that people do all the time that, you know, really stick out as a fond memory when they're gone. And don't pass it up, man. Slow down a touch, you know, and smell the roses in retirement. It ain't all about experiences and, you know, having the most money, you know, and paying the least taxes and perfect timing for this and perfect timing for that. You know, retirement's just another section of life, and it's one where you get the opportunity to slow down. Don't let it pass you by. Just don't let it pass you by. But anyways, man, I'm gonna get off this here. I'm gonna leave y'all alone, and I'm knocking around back here. Might get on that daggone wheelbarrow. Don't hold your breath. But y'all take care of yourselves, man, and remember that, man. Don't let the moment pass you. And y'all make it a good day, man. And we'll talk to y'all later.